You were like, it better been, if she's pregnant, it better be from like some like some old.
I mean, it's Kobe, man.
A frozen egg.
And the thing is she pregnant? We don't know like how she got let that lady live her life.
Let that lady live her life.
It was recently revealed that Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, may be expecting a child. People are criticizing her for moving on too quickly after Kobe's death 5 years ago. However, that pressure might have caused her to make a startling choice that brought her daughter to tears. All the information is right here. Let us dissect it. The internet was rocked by the pregnancy speculation. Everyone was taken aback by Vanessa Bryant's decision, including her friends, family, and millions of fans worldwide. She made a shocking statement that brought her own daughter to tears at a time when everyone else was expecting silence. Consider this: the widow of Kobe Bryant, who has suffered unspeakable heartache, is abruptly compelled to answer rumors that she is pregnant. Her voice, her sorrow, and her dignity were all challenged by the loud whispers. Then she made a decision that no one anticipated. Let us not mince words. When word got out that Vanessa Bryant was expecting, the internet went crazy. The headlines were nasty, in addition to being irresponsible. As if her private life was public knowledge, some even implied that she was seeing a basketball player known as a young baller.
There was a rumor going on for the last like 3 or 4 days that Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, was pregnant. Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller.
The bombshell was right there. Vanessa rejected the storyline as well as the rumor. She proclaimed that she was free to live her life, laugh, swim, and enjoy the sunshine without having to worry about other people telling her what she could or could not do with her body. Nevertheless, her statement provoked even greater criticism because this is the unsettling reality. As one critic noted, the mere notion of her being pregnant at all infuriated a lot of people, especially men.
So she posted the meme of Rihanna where Rihanna's like swimming and she has the goggles on and she has the middle finger up, and the caption of the meme said, me protecting my peace, not pregnant and having fun all summer.
Consider that. It is expected that a widow who lost both her husband and daughter in a helicopter accident will always be in mourning. Some even suggested that she should live her life as a ghost of her former self while wearing black veils. Consider that. It is expected that a widow who lost both her husband and daughter in a helicopter accident will always be in mourning. Some even suggested that she should live her life as a ghost of her former self while wearing black veils.
People were bent out of shape, especially dudes were like really bent out of shape at the idea that Vanessa Bryant could be pregnant.
Furthermore, it is unfair since, if Kobe Bryant and Vanessa had been still alive, do you think anyone would have questioned him about continuing with his life after 5 years? Obviously not. Although the double standard is obvious, it becomes very personal at this point. Although Vanessa dismissed the claims with comedy and memes, the atmosphere behind closed doors was not playful. When her daughter, Natalia, saw the rumors splattered over Instagram feeds and gossip blogs, she reportedly started crying. Imagine being so young, already dealing with the loss of your father and younger sister, and now witnessing the world condemn your mother for having the courage to breathe and to live. Vanessa was not the only one embarrassed by the nasty rumors that her mother was connected to a young baller. Natalia was humiliated by them. She had the impression that people were making fun of the most private scars in her family. Natalia reportedly sobbed while Vanessa attempted to appear strong, expressing her inability to comprehend why people would not simply leave her mother alone. The true cost of this rumor was that unadulterated, unfiltered pain. The tears of a girl who is still grieving for the family she lost, not news stories or memes. And a lot of people overlook that portion. Not only is Vanessa Kobe's widow, as a mother, she battles daily to protect her girls from harm. She is battling more than just trolls. She is fighting against a culture that does not allow women to grieve according to their own preferences. A society that hopes to keep widows stuck in the past and punishes them for moving on or not. The public's indignation continued after that, as if loving Kobe in life meant being bound to grief and death. Several internet commentators claimed Vanessa was betraying his legacy.
You were like, it better been, if she's pregnant, it better be from like some like some old.
I mean, it's Kobe, man.
A frozen egg.
Let us take a moment to consider that. Even so, what does that mean? That suffering is the only acceptable future for Vanessa? That erasing oneself is the only way to respect Kobe? This kind of thinking is about control, not loyalty, and thousands of people piled on as the internet embraced it. Some even called her name, which is so disgusting that it cannot be printed here, and threw insults. In light of all of this, what does Vanessa do? She responds with a resolute clap rather than one of rage. She said, "I am not cruel. I am simply not the right person." A powerful statement. In other words, she is not here to curry favor with those who wish to control her life. Her purpose is not to cower. She is here to safeguard her sanity, her girls, and her peace of mind. The problem is that this was more than just Vanessa versus the gossip. This represented a much larger microcosm, the treatment of women by society when they defy the roles that have been allocated to them. Every action taken by Vanessa is examined. People assume she is hiding something if she is too quiet. They accuse her of sending signals whenever she shares a meme. They believe she has moved on too quickly if she laughs. Her eldest daughter broke down in tears as a result of the poisonous scrutiny that permeated her children. This brings up the most important query of all. Why does the general public feel so entitled to Vanessa's sorrow? In actuality, she has never been forgiven by the world for surviving. In some perverse manner, it was anticipated that Vanessa would always be frozen as Kobe's distraught widow while he was immortalized as a legend. But life is not like that. That is not therapeutic. Love is not that. You must comprehend the love story that this rumor attempted to destroy in order to appreciate its significance. When Vanessa was just a teenager, she met Kobe, and the two quickly became well known. They got married young, started a family, and supported one another through many upheavals, such as public scandals and really difficult times. Kobe frequently claimed that Vanessa was his pillar of support and the one who kept their family united. Not only was it disrespectful, but it was also aeration to turn her years later into tabloid fodder over a hearsay. Vanessa's remark, however, revealed something significant. She set an example of resilience for her girls by refusing to let rumors control her life. Even still, the pain was genuine, and she wrote to Natalia and her younger sisters. The toll that results when personal suffering is turned into public entertainment was made evident by Natalia's tears. Ever the protector, Vanessa stepped up her efforts to save her daughter from being crushed by the weight of whispers, as well as to safeguard her own heart. This is why this moment is so important. Appeasing the public was not the reason behind Vanessa's sudden decision to address the rumor. Telling her kid, "I got this," was the goal. I refuse to allow them to shatter us. And for that reason, this story is so powerful, because it is fundamentally not about gossip blogs or celebrities. It is the story of a mother and daughter navigating love, tragedy, and survival under the most intense scrutiny possible. Here's the twist, though. Despite being a coward, Vanessa is here to safeguard her sanity, her girls, and her tranquility. Here's the problem, though. Vanessa and the rumor mill were not the only parties involved. This represented a much larger microcosm. Vanessa's every action is analyzed in light of how society views women who defy the roles that have been allocated to them. People assume she is hiding something if she is too quiet. They accuse her of sending signals whenever she shares a meme. They believe she has moved on too quickly if she laughs. Her eldest daughter broke down in tears as a result of the poisonous scrutiny that permeated her children. Which brings up the most important query of all. What gives the public such a sense of entitlement to Vanessa's sorrow? In actuality, she has never been forgiven by the world for surviving. In some perverse manner, it was anticipated that Vanessa would always be frozen as Kobe's distraught widow while he was immortalized as a legend. But life is not like that. That is not therapeutic. Love is not that. You must comprehend the love story that this rumor attempted to destroy in order to appreciate its significance. When Kobe frequently claimed that Vanessa was his pillar of support and the one who kept their family united. It was not only disrespectful, but also illogical to turn her years later into tabloid fodder because of a rumor. Vanessa's remark, however, revealed something significant. She set an example of resilience for her girls by refusing to let rumors control her life. She messaged her younger sisters and Natalia, "Lies will not define who we are. Grief will not be used as a weapon against us." The ache was real, though. The toll that results when personal suffering is turned into public entertainment was made evident by Natalia's tears. Ever the protector, Vanessa stepped up her efforts to save her daughter from being crushed by the weight of whispers, as well as to safeguard her own heart. This is why this moment is so important. Appeasing the public was not the reason behind Vanessa's sudden decision to address the rumor. Telling her kid, "I got this," I refuse to allow them to shatter us. And for that reason, this story is so powerful, because it is fundamentally not about gossip blogs or celebrities. It is the story of a mother and daughter navigating love, tragedy, and survival under the most intense scrutiny possible. Here's the twist, though. Vanessa had no idea that a storm was building much closer to home while she was fighting fires in the public glare. Because someone in her own family was going to betray her in a way that was far worse than any rumor, while the internet conjectured about her physique and personal life. And everyone's mouths dropped when they heard about that betrayal by family members, and a mother's startling lawsuit. The pregnancy rumor was nasty to Vanessa Bryant. However, the subsequent events, which originated within her own family, were catastrophic because her own mother, whom she should have been able to trust, was sharpening a dagger behind her back while online strangers were busy discrediting her. You only see this type of betrayal in movies. The woman who reared the heartbroken widow, who was barely keeping her family together, abruptly pulled her into court. For what purpose? Money. Hard, cold cash. The scandal started when Sophia Lane, Vanessa's mother, filed a lawsuit alleging that she had worked for Kobe and Vanessa for years as their personal assistant and unpaid nanny. She did not merely want praise, she insisted on payment. For 5 years, $92 per hour, 12 hours a day. That is millions of dollars if you do the math. From her own daughter, millions. Here's the reality though. Money was never the point of this. Vanessa saw the case as a matter of responsibility, about making sure that, in the only way permitted by the system, those who took advantage of her suffering were held accountable. Financially, justice was what she was suing for, not luxury. Nevertheless, the public's criticism persisted. While some hailed her as self-centered, others appreciated her. She was subjected to the same unfair treatment when there were pregnancy rumors. It was the same ruling she had faced in her mother's case. Someone was willing to condemn her no matter what she did. Vanessa, however, remained steadfast. She became a symbol for all victims who had ever been told that their suffering was too great, too dramatic, or not worth fighting for, not just for bereaved families. Not to mention that Vanessa was not acting solely for herself. Her girls were the reason behind her actions, because there was only one basic truth at the center of her battle. She would stop at nothing to keep them safe. Already, she had seen Natalia sob over unkind pregnancy rumors. Bianca and Capri had previously been protected by her from their grandmother's treachery. She was now committed to ensuring that none of them ever had to view those horrifying pictures. The county might have claimed that the pictures were no longer there. Vanessa, however, was wiser. Nothing truly goes away in the digital era. She also did not allow her family's honor to be in jeopardy. It was a taxing trial. Vanessa occasionally burst into tears. At other times, she stood erect and unflinching. She also did not rejoice when the verdict was announced. She cried because, for once, she had regained some control over a world that had stolen so much from her, not because of the money. In the end, that is Vanessa Bryant's last stance. She was a mother, a fighter, and a survivor who refused to let sorrow, treachery, and cruelty define her, not as Kobe's widow, not as a famous person. She had to deal with rumors that made her daughter look bad. She suffered from her own mother's betrayal. She fought against a system that made fun of her suffering. She remained strong throughout it all. Her decisions may always be contested by the globe. She will be labeled greedy by some. She will be referred to as brave by others. However, one thing cannot be denied. Vanessa Bryant would not be quieted down. She would not allow anyone else to dictate her story, and in doing so, she taught her daughters and the millions of people who watched a message that will endure beyond any rumor, lawsuit, or verdict. Because Vanessa Bryant's story is ultimately about more than just loss. It has to do with love. A love so intense that it will stop at nothing to retaliate against the world. And she made that unanticipated choice. It was about repeatedly deciding to keep her peace and her girls safe at all costs, not about getting pregnant or having money. I appreciate you watching. To view more videos like this one, click on one of the boxes that is currently playing on your screen.